I think this is it.
Oh god.
Sometimes it actually is easier to just shoot a trank in her head and then drag her.
I love that.
No, that was okay.
That wasn't too bad. You didn't like
Mm.
fail it, so it was just so
Grand.
fucking annoying.
Yeah. Here we go.
I'm grand, by the way. After all this fucking time,
Man.
I'm so hungry. I'm so oh, the twinkling like, of course.
We made it.
We made it.
Ocelot just pops up. We made
Over
it.
there.
Wow.
It's
I've
the
become
boss,
attached
isn't
to the forest.
I'll go get the wig ready to take off.
Right.
I'll leave you two alone. But come
You-
back in one piece, okay?
She actually ran like Ashley there.
Promise me.
Whoa.
I'm having flashbacks to how annoying she was in Resident Evil. Oh. The fuck? Was that nuke going off or something?
I can't remember. What was that?
Life's end.
Oh,
Isn't
she
it
fired a nuke.
painful?
Oh.
It's almost tragic. When life ends, it gives off a final lingering aroma.
Burning flesh.
Life is a farewell gift from the darkness to those on their way to die.
Look at her lips.
I've been waiting, Snake, for a long time. Waiting for your birth, your growth, and the finality of today.
Boss. Why are you doing this?
Why? To make the world one again.
Oh.
The world used to be
Oh
whole.
my god.
But with the end of the Second World War, the philosophers began to fight amongst themselves, and the world was torn apart. The Cobras, my comrades who trained and fought alongside me, were torn apart as well.
Ugh.
The foibles of politics and the march of time can turn friends into enemies just as easily as the wind changes. Ridiculous, isn't it?
Yes.
You are.
Yesterday's ally becomes today's opposition. And this Cold War?
It's fucking
Think
freezing.
back. When I was leading the Cobras, America and Russia were fighting together. Now, consider whether America and Russia will still be enemies in the 21st century.
No?
Somehow
Yes?
I doubt it.
Maybe?
Enemies
I don't know.
change along with the times, the flow of the ages,
Can you repeat
and
the
we
question?
soldiers are forced to play along. I didn't raise you and shape you into the man you are today, just so we could face each other in battle. A soldier's skills aren't meant to be used to hurt
You
friends.
can just see Snake's eyes glazing over.
So then what is the enemy?
Whatever, bitch.
Is there such a thing as an absolute timeless enemy? There is no such thing, and never has been. And
Death.
the reason
There we
is
go.
that
That's
our enemies
philosophical
are
for you.
human
There you go.
beings like us. They can only be
This
our
is,
enemies in relative terms.
All that she's saying though is kind of the motivation behind
The world
him
must be made
in
whole again.
the future.
The philosophers must be.
Because he's kind of like the
reunited.
bad guy in the future.
I will devote
but
my skills
She
to
kind of
that
becomes
cause.
He's
her.
not really.
Oh, yeah.
And with
'cause
the
she's not
Colonel's
really,
money,
which
I
you'll
will
find
achieve
out kinda.
that end. Just as I once created the Cobras.
He's doing it for the greater good kind of
They
thing.
are my family.
Just like she is.
Yeah.
I may no longer be able to bear children, but I still have a family.
She pregnant?
Nope. Oh yeah, I'll tell you something.
Okay, wait. Okay,
It
okay,
was
no.
November
Sorry.
1st, 1951.
Not another one of these.
I was in the Nevada desert participating in atomic testing. The name Nevada is derived from Spanish. Covered in snow, white as snow.
Okay.
And snow is exactly what I saw in that Nevada desert. It froze my blood white.
Huh?
What is she talking about?
You were an atomic test subject, weren't you? On Bikini Atoll. That's part of the reason I was drawn to you. You and I are alike.
An atomic test
We're
subject?
both slowly being eaten away
He was
by the
nuked.
trauma of others. We'll never have the
Disinfectant
chance to
knife.
discuss
Oh
We have no tomorrow. But we can still have hope for the future. In 1960, I saw a vision of the ideal future from space. 3 years earlier, the Soviet Union had succeeded in launching Sputnik, the first man-made satellite in history, into orbit.
That's my ringtone.
Jesus.
Most obnoxious ringtone ever.
In response, America threw everything it had into its own manned spaceflight project, the
Focus on those
Mercury
promotional
program.
texts.
I hate them.
Even as the Soviets seemed poised to send their first man into space,
Don't give your
America was
number
still
to any
experimenting with
organization when you go
chimpanzees
college,
and
people.
rockets.
No.
No matter how appealing it sounds, how much free shit they give you.
Government wanted human
How much
data.
free shit they claim they'll give you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
So
no, I
they
got quite a few
secretly
free things,
decided
and
to
then they
send a
dried up
human
within a
being
week.
into space.
And then you're fucked.
Yep.
I was the one they chose.
Oh, okay.
What?
At the time, they didn't
remember.
have the technology to block out cosmic rays, and whoever they sent up would inevitably be exposed to heavy radiation. That's why they chose me. After all, I'd already been irradiated once. Of course, you
okay.
won't find any of this in the history books. I could see the planet as it appeared from space. That's when it finally hit me. Space exploration is nothing but another game in the power struggle between the US and the USSR. Politics, economics, the arms race, they're all just arenas for meaningless competition. I'm sure you can see that, but the Earth itself has no boundaries. No East, no West, no Cold War.
Oh.
And the irony of it is, the United States and the Soviet Union are spending billions on their space programs and the missile race, only to arrive at the same conclusion. In the 21st century, everyone will be able to see that we are all just inhabitants of a little celestial body called Earth. A world without communism or capitalism.
Have you noticed that West and
That is
East
the
is
world
all
I wanted to see.
based off from Europe? If you live in
Yeah.
the West,
But
it's because you're
reality
west of Europe, and
continued
if you live
to
in the East,
dream.
East of Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Like, why isn't the world kind of
In
upside down?
1961,
you know.
I was sent to Cuba.
What do you mean?
To Bahia de
If it was
Cuchillas.
upside down, west would be east and east would be west.
Oh yeah.
Huh.
It was part of a CIA-sponsored invasion.
Oh yeah. Who thought of
under the
North and
guise
Yeah,
South and all
that's what I
that
mean,
shit?
yeah.
Cuban exiles back to their country. But the U.S. government betrayed them. Our weak-kneed president held back their air support. Defenseless, the exiles were annihilated by the Cuban army. All I could do was watch in silence. I was set up by the very country I'd sacrificed so much for. By the very government I dedicated my life to defending.
Oh, was that the Cuban
Yeah.
thing
I was driven
where
to
they
this
sent
decision,
CIA people to
and
train
I
them?
went
Yeah.
And she was one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. I like the way they
Then,
tied into
2
history.
years
Yeah.
ago,
And then
I
just
faced
say
the
fuck it to
Soviet,
history and
my
have
old
like
comrade in
hover
battle.
ships and super rocket tanks.
He was
This
my
is where we
friend,
saw the Sorrow's body.
Oh, I think I remember that.
but one of us had to die.
That's where she killed him, like.
I was left with no choice. The Sorrow gave his life for me. There is no enmity between us. One must live, and one must die. That was the mission. The ones who gave me that mission were the philosophers. Early in the 20th century, the true holders of power in the United States, the Republic of China, and the newly formed Soviet Union gathered together in a secret meeting that would later be known as the Wise Men's Committee. The secret pact they formed there marked the beginning of the philosophers. But the last of the original members died in the 1930s. After that, the organization began to run out of control, and the Wise Men's Committee degenerated into a mere shell of its former self. The philosophers of today have no sense of
fading
good or
away.
evil.
No.
Their influence extends to
It's like Back to the
countries and
Future.
organizations involved in every aspect of every
Fucking Marty
war.
McFly just
They
interrupting their
become
fad.
war itself.
We have to go back
That's
to
how
the
they
future.
operate. The
There's no roads
sacrifice
here.
Oh,
of
we have to go
causes
back. That's like in
shift
Lost.
the
Yeah.
times. This shift leads
There's no
to
roads here.
renewed conflict,
Where we're
and
going,
in turn
we
it
don't
triggers
need
conflict.
roads.
Like a nuclear chain reaction.
I can pretty much
each
quote all
conflict
3 movies,
sparks
that's crazy.
countless
I love those
others,
movies.
forming
they're
an
class.
endless spiral that will continue on for eternity. Do you understand what I'm saying, Snake?
No.
By consuming me and you, the philosophers intend to keep that cycle going forever. It was my father who explained all of this to me. He was one of them.
She looks
You
like a little
see,
demon child.
I am the last
What an ugly
remaining
child.
of the philosophers.
So ugly. Still quite
But
ugly.
after he revealed the truth, my father was
Complete
killed
facial
by that
change.
same shapeless, formless organization.
Looks like an elf.
And my
Yeah.
father isn't the only thing
Different
the
person.
philosophers
Yeah.
have taken from me. In June of 1944, the Cobras and I took part in the landing at Normandy. We'd been given a top-secret mission to locate and destroy enemy V-2 rocket installations. I was pregnant at the time.
Oh.
The sorrow was the father. I gave birth on the field of battle. A beautiful baby boy.
Shooting around here.
But my child was snatched away from me by the philosophers.